For only 15 cents a day, you can help support a starving YouTuber.
That has got to be your intro.
No, I'm not homeless. I just choose to do this. I'm fucking homeless, man. Send me money, please.
No, but seriously, P.O. boxes in there.
No, but P.O. Box. Donation link is in the description below. Not fucking with you. There isn't no donation link. Alright, so we start off with an Enid flashback. Now, I'll be honest with you, it's basically just a summary of her struggle. It doesn't shine a light on her backstory, as in who Enid is. She's still pretty much a mystery, even though we got her flashback in this episode. At least that's how I feel. But we do know now that she is not a part of the Wolves whatsoever. She just went through some shit, and later we realized that her JSS means just survive somehow, which is basically like a good luck charm. I feel like you don't have a rabbit's foot, so she's writing that as her good luck charm. That's the way I took it. If you took it another way, go ahead and leave your interpretation of that scene in the comment box below. It's only 15 cents a day! The fuck? Now then we got introduced to another comic character, Denise Cloyd. I'm immediately raging about Holly, but let me rewind. I'm not even going to get to Holly yet. Holy fuck, did they really just kill Holly off? I'm hoping that's like a FU to fans and they're going to come back and revive her somehow. I really hope so. Anyway, the first impression of Denise Cloyd, I got good vibes. I know a couple fans were like, oh, she ain't, you know, like a stick figure model. I don't like this. I like it. I got a great vibe off this doctor. I like the comedy they inserted here, especially when she asked Eugene if he was a doctor. And that was a call back to when he said he was a scientist. I love that entire first introduction, or the first appearance of Denise Cloyd. As a comic book fan, I thought they had the win on that one. So the Wolves had a great entrance, I thought. And I don't know if anyone else caught this. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but comic book fans, when Jesse and cover up the fucking light again, bro. Cover up the fucking light again. Jesse and Sam were at the stairwell and they showed their hands for a split second. For me, now I'm mixed yet again, because part of me believes like that was their nod, like, oh, we're not going to do that scene. Then a part of me is like, oh, they might do that scene, so I'm mixed on that. However, the Wolves had a very awesome introduction. I love that. Carol's baking some food and then she's looking out the window. She sees the chick who's like, okay, whatever. I'm going to step outside and have her smoke. And then boom, she gets a machete to the face. Speaking of Carol, then we get a really awesome mercy kill, and I absolutely love the scene with Carol. You got wolves running in the background, and we know that the person she killed will not survive those wounds. I mean, that chick is going to bleed out by the time Carol gets her to Denise Cloyd to patch her up. And I know a lot of people in the comments are probably going to run off and say, oh man, Carol's crazy, she's just killing people, because that's the kind of vibe that a lot of fans have, especially people that don't like Carol. But that was in fact a mercy kill. She had to put that person down. If you looked at her injury, it was vicious. It was pretty damn bad. And this is actually where I wrote down, fuck yes and Holly. But what the fuck? I made a joke about this in my prediction video about how crazy would it be if they introduce us, or they hint about this Holly character that is an important character in the comic book series. But then I told you guys about how they basically destroyed two huge parts or moments of this character, which was Abraham's comic book death, and then you know, the all-out war scene with Holly's death in the show. They destroyed that because they took away the setup, and I was like, how messed up would it be if they introduced Holly and then they killed her right away? And so far, that's what it looks like. I'm really, really hoping that somehow, some way, Denise is like, oh shit, maybe I'll keep trying to resuscitate her and she comes back to life. I know that right now that seems unrealistic, but I'm really hoping that's the case. And I really did love the back and forth between when Holly was on the table, you had Eugene saying, don't be a coward. You know, and it kind of sheds light not only on Denise's situation and setting her up in this position where now she has to be a surgeon when she, you know, was not supposed to be the surgeon. Pete didn't even want her there. But we got Eugene. It's shedding light on the fact that he really regrets being a coward. His fuck-ups and his mistakes. He's trying to correct her path, so to speak. And a part of me thought that the setup for Holly's injury on the table was the fact that they're going to bring that up later on when Carl gets his comic book injury. I'm not sold that they're going to do that with Carl. I feel like they need to do that with that character, especially after this episode. I really feel they need to do that with that character, but I don't think they're going to go in that direction. One scene I do want to stop and point out, though, is Jesse. When Jesse went apeshit on that chick with the scissors, the first thought that popped in my head, and now I do admit it was probably inappropriate, but the immediate thought that popped in my head was, take notes, Beth. That is how you kill a bitch with scissors. Nailed it! I do enjoy one small callback they had with Morgan where he said he's not good with guns either. And that does call back to his entrance into the series because he wasn't able to shoot his wife in season 1. And on top of that, because he wasn't able to shoot his wife in season 1, his son died because his son came face to face with his mother as a walker, and she ended up biting him and killing his son. So I really love how that was kind of like a comedic scene, yet it was a very strong callback to that character. Anyway, we got some weird dialogue with the wolves. They were like, this is a trap, we're going to set you free. But I really love Carol's scene in this. Now, I know a lot of fans are going to say they're laying it on thick with Carol, but I actually really love this. I like it more than Terminus. It shows her intelligence in this scene, and it shows her relating to her situation in the fact that she doesn't agree with Morgan as far as not killing, but Morgan is right. She just doesn't enjoy it. And I think that is very, very strong with the story, especially since a lot of fans just immediately called her just a serial killer after the events of season 4. And I love the fact that she's sitting on the porch and she's contemplating smoking that cigarette. She has a W on her forehead, and it kind of disgusts her that it's on there. She goes to wipe it off, and she looks over next to her, and she sees the A, and you get that balance between the disgusting, which is on her, which is the W, and then the pure, the innocent, the kind. And the A represented with the children in 5th season, how they were stamping the A. And it had that kind of duality to it, that struggle. And you've seen Carol start to break down in tears. I absolutely love that symbolism in that scene. And I feel like it's a scene that a lot of fans are just going to gloss over and be like, well, I didn't know what was going on, so I'm just going to pass by it, you know? I encourage you to take a better look at that scene, and you really got to appreciate Melissa McBride's acting. She is just wonderful, even though I did predict her death this season. I'm sorry. And then to end... And then we end this episode with Morgan walking through Alexandria. And for those of you who break down the trailers, I want you to take note here. Morgan is walking through, and there's just, puddles of blood. There's bodies everywhere. And in the trailer, we didn't get all that graphic detail. We got like maybe a body or a shadow of a body over here. And there was like maybe 1 or 2 bodies that you could pinpoint that were there. And we were like, were they walkers from the other night? No, this is them releasing a scene that isn't accurate to the scene that's in the actual story, in the actual show. So keep that in mind when you're breaking these trailers down. We're going to do a fan feedback of... Fucking serious?
Dude,
the lights went out. So if you're new to this channel, stay tuned because we're going to do a lot more Walking Dead videos. Listen, we do a shit ton. Hit that subscribe button and say fuck it, Live life on the edge. After this, we got a prediction video coming. It's probably going to be up tomorrow. And then in a day or two, we're going to do fan feedback of this episode and dissect some things that I missed and some things that you guys are interested in. So hit that subscribe button. Give me your thoughts, opinions, and predictions for the next episode in that comment box. I'm done talking. It's your turn. Listen, hit that subscribe button or I'll come to your house and I'll punch you in the face. No, for real. Hit that subscribe button. Listen, we got a lot more Walking Dead videos coming. And stay tuned tomorrow. I'm going to have a prediction video coming for the next episode. And I'm also going to go ahead and do a fan feedback video in about 2 days that's going to cover some things I missed and some things you guys are curious about. And some of your comments about this episode. Whether you love it or hate it, put your opinions and thoughts about this episode in that comment box. I'm done talking. It's your turn. Fucking nailed it. And you spit right at the end.
Did you hear that?
I mean, sure as fuck the microphone heard it. You know, if your ball sack shifted and the skin like peels off of your thigh, it'll hear it. And you're like, is it gonna hear it? Well, yes, motherfucker, it's gonna hear it. Yeah. Our sponsor for today is Colt 40.
Drink responsibly.
Show's over. Subscribe now.